I'm Randy Hoodenpyl, firefighter here at Gaston Fire District. I've been here for 10 years now, total, volunteer and career. And this is our house.
Let's go inside, Randy, and take a look around.
Okay. This is our first out fire engine here, 1171. It's a 2009 Pierce, contender chassis. Carries 750 gallons of water, 1,500 gallon per minute pump. Carries a full complement of EMS and extrication equipment. Seats 4 firefighters.
Now this piece of apparatus, as obviously you said earlier, is the first out. And what would go in conjunction with this piece of equipment?
Depending on what call it was, we run this one on car wrecks first out. We supplement it with our rescue vehicle over here, which is a 1997 Freightliner.
Now the Freightliner itself, is it set up as far as being able to transport, or is that something that you have another agency do?
We are transport capable. We're not licensed in the county right now. We can do BLS transports in an emergency situation, but primarily Metro West Ambulance transports for us, and they're a private company.
So let's take a look inside the rescue to start off with. And this, of course, is set up for real-world operation.
Yes. Carries all the equipment. Has gurney, onboard oxygen, onboard suction. We also carry SCBAs to fight fires with. It supplements our fire scenes.
And again, this would roll in conjunction with the engine as well?
Yes.
And how many people would normally man this?
Anywhere from 3 to 5. We have seating for 5. Our typical staffing is anywhere from 2 to 5, depending on how many people come in and staff. This one's our primary first out for EMS calls in the district. It also mutual aids with Forest Grove and Yamhill in District 2 over the hill.
So Randy, fill me in a bit more about the actual pumper engine unit you have here. So what is the pump capabilities of this particular unit?
1,500 GPM, 1,500 gallons per minute. We have 3 pre-connects here, 2 we call cross laser pre-connects. They're pre-connected to the pump so that we can deploy them faster to get to the fire. We have a booster line on top. Onboard generator with scene lighting that telescopes up. Carries hard suctions up on the side, 6-inch hard suctions for rural drafting operations. A lot of places we go don't have hydrants. We have to make our own water source. In the rear here we have a pre-connect. We carry 1,000 feet of large diameter hose, a full complement of ladders.
So Randy, this is your tanker here that you have.
Yeah.
How many gallons of water does this hold?
This carries 3,000 gallons of water. It's got a 650 gallon per minute pump. It's built on a 1989 Ford Louisville. Tank was redone in 2011 with new paint and a poly tank put on with all new lighting, more discharges on the pump, and a rear dump valve built by Newton.
So this is the rear dump valve that was built by Newton.
The advantage of this is that we can have one valve that goes both directions, straight back or to each side, and also telescopes out to a distance, so it'll go out each side. As opposed to putting 3 different dump valves on, we went with this one so it'll do everything with just one.
So how much hose does the tanker itself carry?
It carries 600 feet of 4-inch large diameter hose and 200 feet of 2.5-inch hose for a rural water supply. A little bit smaller than the pumpers. It's just mainly to supplement the pumpers if they don't have enough with their 1,000 feet.
So what do we have in here?
So inside the tank here, we've had it fabricated into the middle of the tank as a 3,000 gallon portable tank so that we can pull up to a wildland fire scene or a residential structure fire and dump a tank and dump all of our water into a tank, and then a pumper then has an alternate water source and we can send the water tenders for water. Kind of nice to have it in the middle here. It's contained in the tank, stays dry.
So Randy, this department obviously has been fortunate over the years, and one of the things that you've been able to do is to upgrade your apparatus from what was pretty basic to what is pretty sophisticated now. How many people live in the town of Gaston?
Inside the city, we have a population of 820, but our district covers 55 square miles, which outreaches to 8,000 people, which includes Hag Lake, which has a summertime population due to visitors of over 300,000.
Now this pump right here is a slightly older one compared to the Pierces that we just saw a moment ago, and of course the first out. This would be what, third out?
Yeah, we run this one third out. It runs on wildland fires. It does a little bit different things for us. It has the ability to pump and roll. Carries 250 more gallons of water than the new Pierces. It's a 93 Spartan, originally purchased by Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue. We were fortunate enough to be able to purchase from them, used. You see, it's got the front-mounted nozzle here to be able to pump and roll for field fires, which the Pierces do not.
So this is the ability to pump and roll, as you just mentioned, with respect to the fact that you can engage the pump and then from inside the cab you can control this?
Correct, yeah, I've got a joystick in there. Everybody stays seated, nobody has to ride on the outside. Due to the new NFPA and OSHA things, they don't like people riding on the outside of vehicles anymore.
So where's the joystick to make this work?
The joystick's up right by the officer's seat by the MDT.
So Randy, this is your second out.
Correct, it's a 2008 Pierce Contender. Basically identical to 1171. We swap these every 4 months to keep the miles fairly similar, so we don't get one with a lot of miles on it and one without. It has a 750 gallon tank, 1500 GPM pump.
So the model difference in this particular one here is that this has a black intake.
Yeah, the 1171's is red.
Is red. So then you have a brush rake right here, and this is, I know Roger Messenbrink, who's the chief, is pride and joy as far as being able to set up rakes.
Yes, he's very good at what he does. He comes with a lot of experience from the city of Hillsborough.
So it's a 2009 Dodge 5500 crew cab?
Yep. It's got a 300 GPM waterless pump on it. The cabinets were custom made for us by ProTech. It's got a Cascade Fire slip-in unit with an onboard foam system. It carries up to 5 personnel. Typical staffing is anywhere from 2 to 4. With the ability to have 5, it carries a full complement of EMS equipment as well for wintertime operations. So it has the same capabilities as our old Spartan. It pumps and rolls in fields. We take this on and off for wintertime.
So right now we're going into the summer, so...
Yeah, we've mounted it back on the front here to fight our field fires if necessary.
So this pump is a how many gallons per minute pump on this one?
300 gallon per minute diesel pump, which is not very common in wildland apparatus. They usually use a gas pump, but we went with a diesel pump so that we don't have to have an alternate fuel source on the rig. We can pump straight out of our fuel tank on the truck and run the pump as well.
Now out the back here, you've got a boat.
We do. We have 2 staff vehicles and a boat out here in our shop. This is a 2011 Northwest Jet that was purchased with a grant from the Dow Baker Trust Foundation from Baker Rock. We run a volunteer program every summer that runs from Memorial Day to Labor Day. Every weekend, our volunteers and volunteers from around Washington and Yamhill counties staff Hag Lake to help protect the visitors to Hag Lake.
And like all departments, you have older vehicles over the years. I remember many moons ago selling this particular light part of the department. My memory serves me correct, it's an edge bar that goes back to the year 1993. So
that's a 96 Jeep Cherokee that we bought from Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue.
Right, and they had it a couple of years before you bought it.
Yep. So this is a 93 Ford pickup that we've outfitted with a tank and a pump for the summertime to help supplement our wildland fire responses.
And you actually have mounted up here a Sirennet. Actually, it's an LBL-1, one of the original Sirennet light bars that we had built in the US. So, a little bit of history. So, when was the department started?
Actually, 1913. We're planning our centennial 100-year celebration this year.
How many volunteers do you have?
We have 26 current staff, 2 full-time staff, and 24 volunteers right now.
Right. And you mentioned earlier the geographical area that the department covers.
55 square miles, which includes, we're here on the map, and we cover Hegg Lake, Cherry Grove, and communities of Laurelwood, which are unincorporated areas of Washington County.
Here in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.